Knack. I kinda have a love-hate relationship with this game. Although it did seem while recording the Let's Play, I hated this game. Don't get me wrong, the game can get pretty frustrating, but after replaying a few levels for this review, I have to say the game's not all that bad. Knack is the brainchild of Mark Cerny, who is also the lead architect of the PlayStation 4. It was one of the titles available when the PlayStation 4 launched in the US. The game is a simple third-person action game that spans over 13 chapters, with each splitting into multiple sections. The controls are pretty simple and easy to get a hang of. The left analog stick moves Knack around the environment, X is for jumping, square is for attacking, triangle is for interacting with levers and other environmental items, while circle allows you to perform special attacks that is assigned to either the square, triangle, or circle buttons. In most third-person action games, the right analog stick is usually for controlling the position of the camera. In Knack, however, the right analog stick allows Knack to perform a quick dash in the direction that the right analog stick was pressed. This means that the camera is always fixed, and there is no way to control its placement. This is sometimes a bad thing. When I was playing the game, I rarely wanted to control the camera. The levels are designed to where there's really no need to move the camera around, and I felt that I was able to see everything. I didn't really encounter any kind of blind spots. In my opinion, the graphics of the game are really good. The characters do look like they came out of the Jim Henson workshop, but this game is aimed at kids, so I really can't complain about how they look. The environments look really great, but where I think the graphics of the games really shine is in the outdoor environments. The majority of the outdoor environments are full of color and just look gorgeous. Indoor environments, such as caves, castles, ships, and fortresses, do tend to use the same color palette, but that's expected. There are a few instances where a few dabs of color help break the monochromatic colors. The story is pretty generic, a typical save the world framework, but again, this is a kid's game, so it's kind of expected. Knack and his buddies are trying to stop the goblins from attacking human cities, and about halfway, the mission bounces back and forth from stopping the goblins and trying to save the world from being destroyed. There are times where you can easily guess what's going to happen next, and the game's attempts of foreshadowing can get pretty lame. Now to the nitty-gritty, the gameplay. As mentioned earlier, this is a simple third-person action game. Don't expect any deep combat moves here, or any move customization. If you're expecting a God of War-like experience, you will be really disappointed. Personally, I think the game suffers from balancing issues. It gets pretty apparent towards the end of the game. In some parts of the game, Knack can gather different elements to increase his size. He can absorb ice, wood, stone, and metal. Here's where it goes into a gray area. I made the assumption while absorbing a new element, I would gain some kind of defense or strength perk. Sometimes you'll get a strength perk, but absorbing elements seem to actually make you more vulnerable. I can accept that ice and wood have their own flaws, and the game does point those out, but I made the assumption that absorbing stone or metal will make you more durable. This is not the case, and it seemed that they were just as weak as ice and wood. I also ran into some hit detection issues, especially with larger enemies that had ground clearing attacks. There will be some instances where I would successfully hit an enemy while it was performing the ground clearing attacks. Then the next attempt would end up Knack falling into pieces. I also felt that the colliders were oddly placed in some areas. For example, towards the end of the game, Knack and his band of merry men are on Victor's airship. The human characters went around a descending staircase, and I figured I could just clear the railing and get to the end of the staircase first. My efforts were fruitless as I was met with a collider that kept me from jumping over the railing, even though Knack could have easily cleared it. During the game, you pick up parts for items that do give you some perks. These perks include an extra sunstone slot, combo meter, secret detector, and many other items. Through this playthrough, I was only able to complete 3 items. This essentially means that in order to get everything, you would have to play the game multiple times. To me, this is a cheap attempt to add replay value. There's also a tie-in mobile game, which is a simple match-me type of game where you can earn parts. However, you are still unable to obtain all the parts from playing the mobile game alone, and the game also makes note of it. So, here's the bottom line. Do I recommend getting this game? See, that's kind of a hard question to answer. As mentioned before, it's a simple action game, and the simplicity might be a turn-off to people. I cannot recommend this game to people who get easily frustrated, as there are sections of the game that will make you pull your hair out. I must admit, While I did get pretty frustrated towards the middle, it was partly due to me rushing to finish the game and wanting to play something else. If I would have taken my time and actually thought about my moves instead of going all Hulk and trying to destroy everything as quickly as possible, I would have had a better time playing the game. So, would I recommend paying full price for the game? I would have to say no. While not a bad game, I can't really justify paying full price for the game. At the time of recording this review, the game is currently priced at $39.99 US. I personally will wait until the game goes on sale, or it becomes free with PlayStation Plus. As with any game, the choice is really up to you. If the game looks like it's your cup of tea, pick it up. That's it for this review. Thanks a lot for watching.